Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my photography vlogs called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. I am here at Eastwood Reserve Park. It's a little park in between some houses that kind of just goes deep in Richfield, Ohio. So this is, I think, a local park rather than being part of the, any of the metro parks or Cuyahoga Valley Park District. This, I think, is just a local one. But it's kind of like they took a plot of land and just kind of went deep into some woods. So if you're not careful, you might drive right beside the parking area. Today's camera is my Pentax LX, professional level, all manual Pentax SLR, has removable prisms, has exposure comp from 4 seconds to 2,000th of a second on the shutter speed. Today's lens is the 50 millimeter SMC-M, so it does not do the auto aperture. 1.4. The reason why I pulled this camera out is I've got some weird film for you today. I've got Photography Project MZ3. It's a black and white ISO 3. That's a very, very slow film. And I know it's kind of a bright day. This early November morning, it's probably in the upper 40s right now, so I got my jacket on. But ISO 3 is a very slow film, and I did not bring my tripod, so I wanted my fastest lens that I had, so it would be my 50 millimeter 1.4. All right, so I'm going to load it up, set my settings. I'll be right back. Okay, so the MZ3 film is considered an orthochromatic film, not a standard panchromatic. It is blue sensitive, so I believe that means that anything that is blue is going to be going pale versus maybe mid-tone or dark, but I could be wrong on that. I might have to do some digging, but it's an orthochromatic blue sensitive film. Supposedly a very creamy film, kind of cool on the highlights type of thing. But with the, I could have set my ISO to 3 because there's I accidentally took a shot. That's a bad one. I do not have ISO 3. I do have an ISO 6. So I'm going to go ISO 6 and take it to I can't go any further. So I'm going to have to do some manual adjustments. Otherwise, I'm going to be underexposed by one stop. Now, underexposed by one stop means my negatives are going to be a little thin. This is relatively in-date film. This is probably about maybe 3 or 4 years out of date, so I could do that. Normally you could do an exposure comp on the dial, but what it does is it kind of flexes the ISO. It's not going to let me go any lower than 6. Even with exposure comp, it can't do it. So now I've got to do a manual adjustment by 1 if I'm going to shoot manual. So watch my exposure. If it says I'm shooting a 60th of a second or 90th of a second, I want to make sure that I shoot maybe a 30th or 45th instead of a 60th or 90th. So I'm going to shoot like maybe 1 shutter speed slower than what my aperture is telling me. All right. Cool path. Supposedly there's a pond nearby. We'll go check it out. Let me get my base reading. Okay, well the nice thing is I can set my shutter speed, lock my shutter speed into a 90th of a second so I can handhold this, and then I just change my aperture, and instead of the aperture glow dot on the meter, the circle that kind of goes up and down, will land up on the same shutter speed green bar, so it's a good exposure. I'm going to make sure it's one drop. Actually, I'm going to go 1 drop higher so that I shoot slower. So I want to make sure that I'm going to set this for a 60th of a second, try to make sure I'm hitting a 90th or 125th. That'll cause the overexposure for the 1-stop variance that my meter's not giving me. Alrighty, I will be right back. Let me go see what I can get. So I've got my shutter speed set for 60th of a second, and I'm just paying attention to my aperture. And I got to make sure that the meter when I pick the f-stop that the meter indicating is trying to go, wants me to shoot a little faster, like maybe a 125th of a second. That way when I shoot a 60th, I am overexposing, correcting for my such a slow ISO. I'm seeing a bunch of yellow gold from these leaves, green from some plants and stuff like that. Kind of cool contrast in colors. Nice cool silhouettes from the trees that no longer have leaves and stuff like that. Nice bright sunny day. I'm going to hopefully get some cool shadows. Sun's behind a cloud right now, but there were some cool shadows dancing around here a little bit earlier. All right, let me go down the path. Let me see what else I can get. Looks like it gets a little cold this area. I see some snow. You know, probably the breeze and the everything else. I actually get a little bit of snow on the bridge, which is kind of cool. Little creek, bridge. Path keeps going that way. Path goes that way. I'm gonna get a couple shots right here. I am on shot 16 out of a roll of 24, so you know, it's not like a roll of 36 or something like that. I'm gonna get some shots. We'll probably head back that way and see what we can get. Be right back. This lens has a decent focus throw, so from minimum focus to maximum focus is a good half spin. So if you see me kind of go from one to another, you know, I've gone from macro to a distance one, and sometimes it takes a roll or two to get to where I want to be. All right, I'm on shot 19. Let me get one or two more shots and we'll head that way. So even though this is a really slow film, you can process it normally. If you hand develop, check which developer you're using, whether it's D76 or HC110 or Ilfosol or some of the other developers that are out there, or if you do, you know, your own custom developers. You might have to go to Film Photography Project's website and check the development times for certain chemistry. I have a lab develop mine. They look it up and they can adjust the timing of their black and white machine accordingly. And then I just scan these at home. All right, let me head that way. Be right back. Maybe it is a roll of 36. I thought it was a roll of 24. That's okay. I'm on shot 27. A couple more shots left. I'm gonna head down this way. Be right back. Now, when using some of these specialty films, orthochromatic, stuff that's blue sensitive or not red sensitive, you'll get different contrasts, like if you're using a colored filter in some cases. However, be aware that if you're using a film that has a particular sensitivity, like maybe Ilford's Ortho 80 or some of the Film Photography Project stuff, pay attention if you're going to use contrast filters like yellow or orange or red or green or even blue for contrast. Those filters may be counteracting what the film is designed to do or making your film just kind of go weird. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but just be aware that certain contrast filters will affect your results if you use some of those specialty black and white films. All right, I'm on shot 30. Give me a few more shots, be right back. I was right, it was a roll of 24, but I did get some extra shots. I got like 27, so I actually got 3 extra shots on that one. Could have been how I loaded, so maybe the first shot or two was black because of the way that you load film. All right, so today's location is a little park in Richfield. Check out the little parks every now and then. Medina's got them. They're all over the place. The gazebos, the squares and stuff like that. Nice little dog parks and stuff like that. Today's camera was my Pentax LX. It does have the motor drive on it, but I did not use the motor drive that much. I kept it off. I just like the grip on it, and I was manually doing it. Today's film was Film Photography Project's MZ3, which is a 3 ISO orthochromatic blue sensitive black and white film. I did not use any filters. Just remember when you go to, today's lens was the Pentax 50mm 1.4 SMC-M. When you go to rewind, there's a little peg underneath your camera. Rewind your film, and as many shots as you took is about as many rewinds as you will have to do. So right about there, I felt it let go. And there's my film. They do say try to keep this in subdued lighting. I've got some subdued shadows right now. It's not nice and bright and sunny. The sun will be breaking through any minute, so I went ahead and did that. Put it in my jacket pocket, because this film is a little bit more prone to like light leaks and stuff like that, just because of what it is. Photos will be posted at the end. Feel free to give them a thumbs up. New episodes try to come out about every Friday, every Saturday. Specific location episodes, I did one in Mansfield Reformatory, or my Oops episodes will come out every now and then, just because I think they're cool. Yes, I will post my mistakes. Hopefully I didn't make too many mistakes with this one. Hopefully my exposures are good, because my ISO did not go down to 3, only went down to 6. So combination of ASA 6 on my camera and trying to keep it to a 1.5 stop overexposure through the metering, I should be right where I want to be. Feel free to comment on your experience with Pentax cameras, the LX, the ME Supers, K1000s, any of the PZ, MZ series or ZX series. I've shot some of those in the past. Hopefully I'll find some more. I got some other cool cameras coming up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode.